What's up, guys? Just really saying hi. There's not really too much to talk about. I'm with the camera that way. But I was going to post a reply to the last video. I got a white label that I didn't know what it was. I found out what it was, and man, off the top of my head, I can't remember exactly what it is now, but I got it. I figured out what it was, and there's actually another record up at the store that I'm going to go back and get, and I'm probably going to give her more than what I normally would have, because I feel like after listening to that and how good it was, I kind of lowballed her, so I kind of feel bad about it. But whenever you do something like that, what can you do? Just make it up, right? So at any rate, on to now. I just wanted to show some of the stuff that I've been listening to lately, and on top of that white label that I got, that I figured out what it was, that I can't remember what it is anymore. I've been listening to that, but I've been listening to some other stuff too. This is just I don't know if everybody does this or not, but I have a I've got my record collection over here, and then down underneath my down underneath the table that my turntable is on, I just got a crate, and I keep my records that I'm listening to at the time in there. And this is in no particular order, other than how I grabbed them out of that crate. And this isn't all of them, but this is what I've been listening to this past week or two. First up, we've got MIA, Aralar, however you pronounce that. I pulled this out because I've been listening to the new one, and I like it. But MIA always does this thing where she puts out a new record, and I really get into it for a week or so. And then after that, I just get completely bored and tired of it. I don't know if the new one is going to be like that anyway, but I'm sort of hesitant to buy it on vinyl. However, I can always go back to this one and listen to it. And I love this record cover. It's so colorful. And it's got like the tanks with joysticks and all kinds of stuff. The insert is really nice. I can't imagine trying to read all of this on a CD. It's got pictures of her performing, and then just different things, and then the back is once again very colorful, and it's got the names of the tracks. Nothing special with the vinyl, it's just a black vinyl, but once again the labels are very colorful. But I like this album because it's got a rawness to it that I don't think she could pull off anymore. Now, the stuff that she is pulling off, I'm not knocking that at all. It's very produced, it's very cool, like it's scatterbrained, and I really like that. But this just has a sort of rawness to it. So MIA Aralar, or however you pronounce that. The next one that I've been listening to a lot lately is Boards of Canada, Tomorrow's Harvest, and this is their new one. They just re-released all their records on vinyl, and I'm probably going to pick up A Beautiful Place Out in the Country. I was going to pick up Music Has the Rights to Children, but I just haven't gotten around to doing it, and hopefully I will before they go unavailable again. So at any rate, this record, it's got just some cool, what looks to be random pictures, although if I know Boards of Canada well, and I do, they all mean something. But it's a double LP set. It's a really cool set. Next up is Skinny Puppy, Mythmaker. And while I like this album okay, it's certainly better than the one that came after this. But this record and this presentation is just beautiful. I really like. It's interesting to me how the artwork on the back is slightly different, but has tones of the other artwork. But at any rate, I think I pulled this one out because mostly I'm very upset at myself for not grabbing Weapon, which is their last album when it was available on vinyl. Because that's a really good album. It's honestly one of my favorite albums, and that usually doesn't happen for me for a band that's been around, especially for as long as Skinny Puppy has. Last Rites, Two Dark Park era is when I got into Skinny Puppy, and so I liked the process. I liked the Greater Wrong and the Right. They were okay, but nothing really got that got that thing that I really, really loved about Old Skinny Puppy, and Weapon does it. For me anyway, it does it really, really well. So Skinny Puppy, Mythmaker. I put this on. I haven't listened to this in a while, and I really dug it. This is Battles. Very cool, sort of abstract art band. I've seen them live with Refuge 73, and I don't know. I got sort of wanting something that you know. I never noticed that poster is there. That's cool. I just got into wanting something that I could just sort of put in the background and just enjoy and nod my head. The artwork is all just pictures of their equipment and stuff, and it's in this glass sort of mirror thing that they designed. The video for one of the songs was in here, and it was really, really good. It's a double LP set, but that is good. And speaking of, whenever I saw them on tour with Refuge 73, I pulled out, because it reminded me of them, I pulled out Refuge 73 Extinguished Outtakes. This is the only thing I own on vinyl from them. And it's off of Warp Records. It's very good. It's very disjointed. Just cool hip hop. I've always been kind of bummed about this record because, I mean, it's not super thin, but it's a little thinner than it could be. But then also the jacket is just like a cardboard, which I guess lends itself to the art style, but it just always felt a little flimsy to me. It is an Outtakes album, so you know, I'll give it that. Up next, once again, something else that came out recently that I really dug from an older artist is Gary Numan. Of course, this is not new. This is The Pleasure Principle, and I remember listening to this whenever I was, I don't know, 7, 8 years old, maybe 9, something like that. It was in my dad's record collection, and my dad worked at a record store, so he used to bring home all kinds of stuff. And I was just kind of flipping around his record collection as I did, and I found this, and it was nothing like I'd ever heard before. It was Gary Numan, but and I was sort of conflicted as to if I should like it or not, which sounds weird, but keep in mind, I mean, I was a kid, and in my brain, I liked rock music, and I liked a couple of like hip hop tracks at the time, but I really didn't really fully understand that as an art style at the time. So I listened to this and I was like, this is actually somewhat soothing, and I really like it, and I don't know why. So at any rate, as I got older, I realized it's okay to like what you want to like. You don't have to like a certain genre. So I come to love it. But this also sort of just reminds me of my dad's record collection, which is cool. He has a large record collection, and I stole a couple records from him whenever I moved out. Sorry, Dad. But yeah, Gary Numan, Pleasure Principle, great album. It has cars on it. It has Airline. It has metal. Just a wonderful album. Up next is Dillinger Escape Plan. One of Us is the Killer, and I'm going to show you this record because it's so beautiful. I have a friend out in Denver, and I was visiting there on a work trip, and he surprised me with this, which is really cool. But check out that. That's just a beautiful record. And then there's the side A. All right. It's a fold out. It's a single LP, but it's a fold out with a lyric sheet / poster, which is really cool. But I don't really hang up posters. I don't know, so I just kind of like keeping them tucked inside the record. Up next, I just bought this, and it's kind of one of those things, I was just I was listening to something from my formative years as a child, and I was like, I really should have that on vinyl. And so this is Sanctuary, Refuge Denied from 1987. I was in a band called Devastator. Look at these guys. I was in a band called Devastator, and the bassist turned me on to to this album, and the one after that. They're a really good band. The singer and the bassist went on to form a band called Nevermore, which is also a really good band, and they're back together. A couple of members have changed, or one of the members have changed, but at any rate, I saw them at Prog Power USA in Atlanta a couple of years ago. Man, I tell you what, for somebody that sang this in 1987, I mean, you know how there's high-pitched vocals in here, and so you know how you go to see artists, and they've been around for a while, so take for instance Iron Maiden or whatever, they just can't quite do the voice the way they used to. Warrell Dane, which is the singer, he did a really good job keeping that high-pitched vocal in there. I was very impressed. They're supposedly working on new material, but that's been going on for like a couple of years, so I really hope you guys get it together and get that out, because I will buy it. Nothing much, it's just a lyric sheet, and for some reason this record sticks when it goes in and out of the jacket and then the logo. And you can see the record's in good condition, but the cover is busted on the sides. Up next, I've been listening to Ministry, Enjoy the Quiet, live at WAC in 2012. I will probably pick up their newest album because I think it's really good. It's probably one of the best things that he's done in a long time, once again. But I was sort of hesitant about this. I listened to it online first. You got concert photos and stuff like that. I listened to it online first because most of this is from Relapse. And I wasn't a fan of Relapse at all. I didn't like that record. But you know what? Live, it's a really good representation. And actually, they do New World Order, Just One Fix, and Thieves, which is, you know, older tracks from them. And it doesn't have the same amount of energy. But I guess if you've been playing those tracks for as long as they've been around, you probably give up the energy on that. But at any rate, the new songs come across really well on this. It's a really great record. It is a double LP. But you know, the one thing that frustrates me about this is record number one, the spindle hole, is just a little too small, and I'm afraid to modify it because I don't want to screw it up and then have it slipping around my turntable. So I don't really know what to do about that. So if anybody has any suggestions on that, let me know. The second one's fine. The first one, the spindle is just pretty tight. I mean, I sort of have to wobble it a little bit, and that scares me every time I take it on and off. The last record that I have pretty much listened to this almost every day since I got it. It's my album of the year. I've talked about it on a previous video, Earthlyst, From the Ages. Since I've talked about it, I won't really go too much into detail on it. You can look at my Let's Talk About Psych Rock video. But just an amazing record, man. And beautiful to boot. I mean, look at that orange. It's just a gorgeous record. And it sounds really good in my console stereo from the 70s upstairs too. But at any rate, Earthlyst, I just can't get it off my turntable. I'm kind of worried that I'm going to hate it eventually because I'm listening to it so much now. So that's just a quick what have I been listening to kind of video. Nothing much. Earth Rockers from Clutch is coming out on double picture disc. There's going to be it's going to be Earth Rockers on one disc and then the live version on the other. I'm going to try to get that. And then Mutoid Man is coming out with Helium Head, which Mutoid Man is a project with Converge, member of Converge and Cave In, and that looks to be really promising. There's 2 tracks that they released online, and it's really good stuff. So I'm probably going to pick that up. In fact, I got the pre-order over here. So at any rate, yeah, that's all I got, man. See ya.